Since the early 1990s, we have monitored and documented violent acts committed by the extreme right and neo-Nazis in Poland. And so far we documented 50 cases when people died as a result of attacks by Nazi skinheads and by extreme right groups. The idea of Slavonic neo-paganism by itself doesn't need to be negative or totalitarian or problematic. It could be just a nice religious cultural idea. But in its political form, by and large, it is on the extreme right totalitarian end of the spectrum, and it often borders on manifestations of neo-Nazism on the one hand, and a kind of fascination with the most extreme, the most totalitarian aspects of Eastern European communism on the other hand. So it combines elements of Nazism and Stalinism at the same time. The Pan-Slavonic movement is radically opposed to the idea of European Union, which is seen as a Western invention that is a danger to the Slavonic nations. And of course some of those Slavonic nations are inside the European Union, some of them are outside, but by and large most of those radical Pan-Slavonic movements look to Russia as the center, as the main sort of reference in terms of their geopolitical ideas, and certainly it is Russia in the east rather than the European Union in the west that is looked at as the main partner and ally. One of the facts about the racist far right in Europe today is the importance of international connections, and that applies to Poland too. Of course there is a nationalist tradition in Poland that is central to the extreme right in Poland today, but those international links and cooperation is also significant. One example is the National Rebirth of Poland, the NOP, that is an important part of the neo-fascist movement in Poland, especially on the street level, on the level of the football stadiums and so on. And that is very much part of a neo-fascist international which is led by an Italian extreme right leader whose name is Roberto Fiori, the leader of Forza Nova in Italy. And the Polish movement NOP cooperates with Fiori's international movement very closely for a long time now. It used to be called International Third Position, now it is called the European National Front, and that includes extreme right groups from all over Europe. We know that there are political organizations on the extreme right that have tried to infiltrate the football hooligan groups for some years now in both Poland and Ukraine.